Hey everybody, today, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. Today we're going to do something a bit random. I figure we'll do some Ballionaire. Now, I just need to actually capture. Yeah, so I figure we'll do some Ballionaire, bit of variety, bit of weirdness. I'm gonna record these and put them up as runs on YouTube, unless they're terrible, in which case we won't. So I have played this quite a bit. Oh, that's what I was gonna do. Since I played though, there's been a bunch more unlocks. I did have everything unlocked, but there's a bunch of extra things. So should be able to. Ah, that's the button I need to press. So these are ones that I haven't seen. Every 2 seconds, a random ball will bonk a random trigger in this row up to 10 times per drop. Bonked, end this effect for the rest of the drop. Oh, that's kind of neat. Balls cannot be destroyed if they're carrying food. That's kind of neat. $400. Select an adjacent trigger for a racer to point out when the selected trigger would appear in standard draft. Present it. Gain. That's neat as well. Change the direction of jumbo jet. Ride the jumbo jet. Each triggered jumbo jet flies over. Gains 4 mult once for the rest of the drop. Effect ignores cooldown. Kind of cool. Whenever a trigger in this row spawns a ball, spawn an egg ball, and then cool down. Whenever a trigger in this row is destroyed, spawn 3 ball eggplants. Draft and place a chisel trigger. Chisel. Select an adjacent trigger to chisel to point at. Replace chisel with this trigger and gain a draft of chisel. Neat. Whenever a trigger is destroyed or removed, every other trigger that shares a trait with it gains malt. We've seen the compost bin, half off coupon. First time each drop, each holder holds a whole ball, drop a new half. Yeah, we'll go with that. Whenever a ball exits the screen, teleport a random ball back to its spawn point. Change the direction of a cannon, earn $400, shoot a cannonball. It's bonked by a fireball, repeat 3 times. Yeah, cool. Spawn a ball at the same time as the bonker for each other apartment consecutively bonked before this one. Oh, that's quite neat. Select an adjacent trigger for remote control to point out, bonk the selected trigger. I do want the apartment. The apartment's quite cool. It's kind of like a cave. Reset the cooldown of all food triggers in this row. There's a lot of like in this row stuff in this new set. Select an adjacent trigger for the binoculars. Can't be unique. Gain a draft of the selected trigger, then destroys itself. Yeah. Change the direction of the elevator when the ball falls in its roll. The ball's gravity will obey the direction of the elevator. If this changes the ball's gravity, earn $800. Neat. Whenever a trigger in this row enters cooldown, a random trigger in this row gains malt. 1.25 malt for each bamboo in the stack. So this is a stackable. If it's destroyed, earn $800. Spawn a bamboo in an adjacent open space. Interesting. Kind of moves around. Kind of useful with harvester. Select the meal to bake in the oven. Destroy an adjacent non-meal trigger and replace it with the chosen meal. Select an adjacent trigger for ice cream cone to point out when the selected trigger will cool down. Ice cream trigger cools down instead. Let's go with the bamboo. Maybe we can do a bamboo harvester thing. Sippy cup. Whenever a ball carries a carabole in this roll, spawn a water ball. Sure, we'll go with the sippy cup. I mean, we're going to unlock all of these, so I'm just going to I don't know if I've not seen any. I'm just going to go through any new ones. Yeah, I've seen all of these. We're going to end up with one that's not going to be unlocked. $200 per stack give the ball muscles, which do an additional 1 damage per barbell in the stack. Okay, neat. Adjacent triggers gain 2 malt for the rest of the drop for each unique ball that bonks kitchen sink. Cool. Barbecue road sign, select an adjacent space, send the ball in the direction pointed at. These we've seen. Let's go with that. Scarecrow, up to X times per drop. When a trigger is destroyed, reset the cooldown of all triggers. X is the current tribute. Okay. Thermometer, sure. Owl. Mousetrap. Okay, so we've got most of everything. So let's go Pyramid, Ballionaire Plus. We'll just go random. Let's just start with the random. So we're in the top. So if you've not seen this, what happens is we have to make a certain amount of money each time for tributes 1 through 3, 4 through 6, 7 through 9, and we're going to get a burden that we have to deal with. So the first one is going to be 250 grand. The next one is rerolls are going to be less, and then the final one is attackables are a bit more confusing. I'm just going to put you down there, and then we get a relic to start with. I'll go with the shopping list.
Wow.
And then our initial draft. These are all bad. Sure, let's go with the cactus and we stick you down there. So, if a ball would exit the screen carrying a caribou, teleport it back to its spawn. So we want caribals here. None of these are caribals. Bread. Stick some bread in there. Just gives us a bit of extra. Let's put a caterpillar there, so you will turn into a butterfly if you can get old enough. And let's put another cactus there. Yep, straight through the cactus. No, managed it. Okay. Let's stick a juggler there. So this is just going to be a corner of earning money. If carrying 2 different ingredients, consume them, spawn an additional meal trigger. I kind of don't want that. Let's grab you. And you are going to reach age 5. Let's put a pinball bumper there to try and protect it. Nice. So now this caterpillar is going to go up. Right, so select an adjacent trigger. When the selected trigger would appear in the standard draft, prevent it and gain alt. Whenever you remove a trigger, drop an extra ball. Whenever you destroy, let's just go with... Yeah, because you get caribals. So you place an interactive trigger, you can click on this trigger between drops to perform its interact effect. Cool. So you're quite nice because you give 400 anyway, and then you grab the bread. Right. Spawn a ball of the same type as Bonker for each other apartment consecutively bonked before this one. So I kind of want to put a bunch of apartments together. You are good if we can... Earn 800 has 1.25 malt for each bamboo in the stack above 1. If it's destroyed... Yeah, I'm going to put that there. It's going to start ticking this up. Which I eventually need to do anyway. But I need to earn more than 10 grand. So you stole 800 off me. You could be really good sort of here. And we're going to do that to protect you that way. Radiator, we're not using water balls or fireballs. Like, a tree might actually come good there. Baby. Tanning chair, ball mart. I don't have any limiteds. Is carryable. Maybe I do that. So there's more chance of hitting those. 5% chance to earn 1600. Yeah, let's just do the treasure, so we're always going to be hitting that. Oh, you're interesting that you're not spawned. Gain a standard trigger draft after destroying or removing 10. Whenever you place an animal, gain a gem draft. Let's go with that. Yeah, so that's interesting that that's not sport, that this doesn't spawn once per draft. If a ball would enter... Oh, it's not once, it's not once per ball. Let's re-roll that. Let's put a jump rope on that so we've got more chance of getting... If not bonk during the drop, earn has 2 malt for each adjacent plant. Let's do that. Oh, you have a cooldown. Interesting. Whistle. Or the well. It's gonna be the whistle. If I do kind of, I think what we do is we remove you. I'm gonna put you there. Three balls to earn 10 grand. Let's put the stopwatch in there. So we're going to earn some cash on that. Okay, one more ball. How have we not earned any bread? Let's put the brick in. Maybe we can hit the... Okay, that got us there. Okay, so now each time we re-roll, we get one less choice. I've got a lock. Let's re-roll. Let's grab the magic castle, put you in there. Whenever a default, we're not using attackables. Let's go with the Dusty Tome. Spells are just good anyway. Seedling, consume and spawn a fireball? Maybe we go like this? Yeah, that's kind of interesting. Get a bomb goblin here. So we've finally another apartment. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Let's just keep stacking on the bamboo here. Putting a seedling there is also kind of interesting. I'm curious as to if that would turn into a bamboo or if that would then get eaten. Oh, we failed to drop. Okay, nice try. When the pizza falls over. So we'll call that there for that one, and we'll try and do better next time.